Hello everyone, this is Endgame Mars. We're doing another boxing and a breakdown of the demo. This is Cat Quest, an indie developed game that I surprisingly fell quite in love with. To start off, there were no updates for the game, which was quite surprising for its main status as an indie game, and generally they have at least a few updates. But there were no updates currently as right now, and the game has been out for quite a while, so that's kind of good to see. I'm glad to see a developer who actually, made a done game. To start off, this is also a open world exploration kitty adventure, if you will. Do not be deceived. This is actually a pretty solid, good game. It is a good, easy pick-me-up. It isn't like massively in-depth and all that stuff, but it does offer quite a graded experience. This is a good starting point for maybe if you have kids or maybe a wife or a girlfriend who you're trying to introduce to gaming as a way to explore RPGs without having something like Skyrim, Demon's Souls, or so on and so forth. This is a good starting point, or just for kids too. Because it's really just a typical couple buttons. You hack and slash and use a couple spells from your top buttons from L1, R1, L2, and R2. As well as you have a plethora of armors and weapons you can switch out to. Now, none of them will really affect much, but each one has a different kind of buffs. Like one will give you more armor, one will give you more power and swing, more life, so on and so forth, or magic spell strength. Also, each weapon has a leveling system. Like every time you open a chest, you will get the same weapon, but it will scale leveling up because you're constantly getting it and it keeps increasing levels. So that sword or weapon or armor gets stronger as it goes by. As well as like I said, armor works the same way. Your character also levels up as well. And you constantly be getting levels, getting more life, as well as attack and spell damage. There's also spells you can buy at a wizard store that will also increase the damage of your spell powers, from fire, lightning, to healing, and so on and so forth. I don't want to give too much spoilers on the attacks and stuff. The game is just a quick, pick-me-up, with just basically a bunch of filled with game puns and stuff like that about Paul Adventures and stuff like that. Just lots of kitty puns. As well as the game is not the most in-depth story, but it was not designed that way. It's more supposed to be a comedic kind of game design, like ha 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 and stuff, but it's also pretty charming and smoothly done. It's not over the top, it's not in depth, but it's, like I said, an easy pick-me-up game, and it really was enjoyable. I found myself just constantly digging into it and just getting further and further in the game. The world is pretty big to explore. You can expand the map and look at the good sides of the map. You will get special abilities and stuff like that, and special means to get across to the world. I just found myself just killing enemies and getting stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where I was just overly powerful from the areas I need to be. Like I said, there's many side quests and stuff like that. Generally, they're all pretty much the same. I guess that's the most disappointing part about it, is that you're generally either doing a fetch quest or you're just going to have to kill a bunch of enemies. It's usually how it plays out. But that's perfectly fine for this kind of scale of game and everything. How good it looks, how well it's written and stuff, and the overall atmosphere and the buttons and everything works great. I'm gonna let that slide. It's not that bad, especially from an indie developer. The characters are pretty good and everything like that, but the story-wise, you're trying to save your sister who was kidnapped by an evil kitten, and then you find out that you're the dragon blood and you got special powers and stuff like that. You have the means to kill dragons, and basically that's all it is. It's a damsel in distress kind of story, which there are kind of like lore stones you can learn more about in-depth lore of the world. Like I said, it's not like the most in-depth, but you will find yourself really enjoying just to pick up and playing and just killing. It's like a good pick-me-up RPG for beginners or someone who wants to spend a little more time relaxing without having to be something like Dark Souls or Skyrim. You just can go in and just hack and slash and enjoy yourself. As I said, there's certain maneuvers like fire who will make the enemies more vulnerable to physical attacks. You have an ice ability which slows enemies down. You got a healing spell that will of course heal you. You have armor, which will give you an extra protective armor around you before you start taking physical damage. Now your life does not regenerate, but your armor does. So that's why it's good maybe to have a high armor, so that way you can regenerate that. The only way you can regenerate your life is through sleeping at an inn or then using your spell. As I said, this is not something you should overlook. If you can get this, at a game store, like a GameStop or your mom and pop store for like 20 bucks or something like that, or get a used game, I actually highly recommend not to buy this used. Try to support the developer. This actually was a really good game. I'm proud that they released a game with no updates. It plays great, it looks great, the music's generally pretty good. I loved playing it. I wanted to make this video because you should definitely not look over this game. So like always, I will leave links down in the description, down in the links to if you're interested in the copy. And hit that like and subscribe button if you're interested to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.